Welcome students. Today's video we will cover the topic or answers to the question which has been raised in the previous video. Previous video we have observed that formal source of credit is being available to the richer sections of the society more compared to poorer sections of the society. Then we stopped the video with a question: how to make the formal source of credit availability even for the poorer sections of the society. What is the reason that poor people are unable to get credit from the loan? Even here also you can find a person, a worker stitching a quilt, a poor person who is a self-employed person, and he is asking, do you think a bank will give me a loan? Do you feel that a bank can give loan to the person who doesn't have collateral? Is it possible? So the answer to this question is our today's video, where we will discuss even without collateral also there is another method which nowadays majority of the rural households are following, so that they can avail formal sector loan at a less interest rate, and it leads to their development. Let's see what is that. So let's start with your textbook reading. So in the previous section we have seen that poor households are still dependent on informal sources of credit. Why? Reason. First point is banks are not present everywhere in rural India, but this is not the case. Reason, banks are available in every nook and corner of the country, but even if they are present also, then why they are unable to afford? Reason, because it's difficult to take a loan from a bank than taking a loan from the informal sources. Informal sources, suppose money lender or trader, that person knows the person who need a loan personally. He'll go and ask him, he'll give. But when it comes to bank, so what do the bank require? Bank loans require proper documentation and collateral in the sense security. I'll show you. Have a look at this picture. A collateral can be land or property, or it can be vehicle, or it can be livestock, it can be crop, or it can be bank deposit, which need to be deposited with a bank so that it provides loan to you. It's a security with the bank. Suppose if you are unable to clear the loan amount, they will sell this and they'll get the loan back. So this is referred to as collateral, security or guarantee. So absence of collateral is one of the main reasons, because poor people, landless laborers, these are the people who do not have collateral with them. It's very difficult for them to provide collateral. So they cannot go to bank and take the loan. So what they feel? They feel going to money lender or informal sources of credit, so that the borrower knows him personally. So he'll take the loan, he'll give the loan to him without collateral. But what is the risk here? His risk is high rate of interest. The borrowers approach the money lender even without repaying the old loan amount also, but they charge very high rate of interest, and they won't keep any record or transactions also. At the time of repayment, they'll harass the poor borrowers like anything. So these are all the risk involved in informal sources. Even then, even after knowing that also, poor people go to them. Reason, they feel that during the time of crisis easily they get money from the money lender than from the bank. So in recent years, many people have tried different ways and some newer ways of providing loans to the poor, because if we can't keep this poor in the clutches of informal sources like that. There is a solution for every problem, and the solution to this problem is self-help groups. Now a new concept has developed. It is known as self-help group. Means helping themselves. Instead of going to the money lender or the bank people, first helping themselves by forming group. And what they will do here, this self-help group, especially these are organized by women. So what they will do, they will pool their savings. Means they will collect the savings. Okay, and how many people? Most probably 15 to 20 members in a group. people who belong to the same neighborhood, especially women. So they'll meet regularly. They'll save the money. It can be something around 25 to 100 rupees or more, based on the saving, based on the amount they can deposit, they can save. There are no particular restrictions. Let's try to understand what are the self-help group with the help of this picture. Suppose a village consists of a group of women, and all these are the people. So what they'll do, they will pool up, they'll come together, and each one will give monthly 15 rupees or 25 rupees or 100 rupees as per their capacity. Okay, they'll decide that okay, every month we'll give 50 rupees. So if you can see here, suppose think 20 women are there, 20 to 25, suppose take 20 women are there, and per month 50 rupees, suppose if they are depositing, then the total amount becomes 1000 rupees. Okay, so that 1000 rupees, these people, see here, it's a group of people, and here comes the savings, they'll collect their money. So these 1000 rupees, suppose a person in this group needs urgent money, then what they'll do, they'll give that 1000 rupees to that person. Suppose here this person is in need of money. Have a look, this person is in need of money. What they'll do, or they'll collect the money, they'll give 1000 rupees to this person, then he will utilize the money to solve his problem. So what he wants here, he wants mortgage land to be released, high amount. I have given very small example. Mortgage in the sense, the land which has been kept as a security. Suppose some fertilizers needs to be purchased, then they'll give, or some raw material to be purchased. So in this way they'll maintain. Then this person, whoever has taken the loan amount, has to repay it in installment basis again. Like every month, suppose 50 he has to pay, 50 additional he'll pay, he pay 100 rupees. So slowly they will pool the amount in this way. Then after few years of this pooling together, then what happens, then bank give loans to these people. Okay, they'll keep the name as now, most probably in villages now it's running on the name of Podupu Lakshmi or Podupu Sangam. Even you can ask your servant maid also at home, or if you know any person near your surrounding area. Many of you are still in the villages, try to find out, is there any such group in your village. Even my servant maid, I have asked her, she said that she has taken one day leave. Then the reason she said is she has taken loan from Podupu Lakshmi, so every month she has to go to pay the amount. Clear? So here these people will pool. Then what happens after few years, when this everything goes on well, then these people can take a loan from the bank on the name of the group. Suppose not an individual person, they'll take a loan on the name of Podupu Lakshmi. In the bank they'll open account Podupu Lakshmi. Then bank will give loan to them. For this no collateral required, because everyone is involved. They have registered on the name of a group. Now once they get the loan, what they'll do, now each one can solve their problem. So suppose if one person wants to buy seeds for next crop, then another person wants to buy buffaloes and start milk, another person wants to mortgage the loan. That loan amount these people distribute among themselves, and they will clear their loan amount, or they'll purchase the raw material, they'll start a new business, and this money they have to repay it again back to the bank, because here it's a formal source of credit, very less rate of interest and easy mode of repayment, so easily they can repay the amount. Nowadays it's going on very successfully in villages. This concept is known as self-help group. Now let's have a look at the textbook matter. So every month they will save from 25 to 100 rupees as per their requirement, and these they'll take small loans from their group itself with very less interest rate. Okay, interest rate of this still less than what the money lender charges. After a year or two, with these regular savings, this group is eligible to take a loan from the bank. And banks, without collateral, banks also gives loan to this group of people, because it's been registered on the name, account is opened on the name of the group, it's not on the individual person. For instance, small loans are provided to the members, releasing, like just now as I said, mortgaged land. Once again the word has come, mortgaged, in the sense the land which is being kept with a landlord or some of the trader as a security. Suppose if you won't repay the loan amount, that land will be, he has to sell off that land. So such thing is known as mortgage. For meeting working capital needs like buying seeds, fertilizers, raw materials, for buying seeds, fertilizers, raw materials, bamboo, cloth, etc. Okay. For acquiring assets like sewing machine, handloom, cattle, which they'll use to start up a new business, and they'll earn more income, and it's easy for them to repay the amount also. Most of the important decisions regarding saving loan activities are taken by the group members alone. All the people will gather in their regular intervals and they will discuss about the proceedings to be done. And in their meetings they'll discuss about the purpose, amount, interest to be charged, repayment schedule, everything they'll discuss among themselves, decide, and it goes on in a systematic way. And it is the group which is responsible for the repayment of the loan also. Suppose if a loan is taken from the bank, it is not individual person. Overall, all the members are responsible for the repayment of the loan. And naturally, if one person has taken a loan, 20 people won't pay the money to them. No, so what they'll do? All these people will be seriously followed up by the other members of the group. The member who has taken a loan, he has to repay the money. Otherwise, all these remaining 19 members will be behind that person till he repays the loan amount. Because of this feature, banks are willing to lend money to the poor women when they are organized as self-help group and no collateral as such is required. Now this facility of self-help group has solved the problem of collateral and has given chance for the poor people also to take or to avail the facility of formal source of credit at a less rate of interest. Thus, the self-help group help borrowers overcome the problem of lack of collateral. Okay, they can get timely loans for a variety of purposes and at a reasonable interest rate. No need to depend on the money lender or the trader or the landlords or exploitations. Not required. Directly go to the bank, take the things at a less rate of interest, and they can solve the problem. So now self-help groups are being treated as the building blocks of the organization of rural poor people. It has solved the problem of the rural poor. And it's not just that they will solve the problem of money. Anyhow, the money problem is solved. The credit problem, higher interest rates problem is been solved with the help of self-help group. Along with that, it has made them financially self-reliant. No need to depend on exploitation people like money lenders, traders. Now smoothly they'll get a loan from the bank. It has made them financially self-reliant. No need to depend on others. But at the same time, these regular meetings have solved them their problems, social problems also. But it has given a chance for them, a platform for them to discuss and act on a variety of social issues such as health, nutrition, domestic violence, etc. All these points also can be discussed in the group. In this picture, you can see a group of women sitting and discussing, a women's self-help group meeting in Gujarat. Even in your village also, you try to find out, is there any self-help group like that, and what is the name of the self-help group also. You can ask your servant maid also or watchman in your apartment. They'll surely help you. They'll surely give you details about this self-help group. So self-help group has solved the problem of collateral and made poor people turn towards formal source of credit also. Along with that, there is one more method which has solved the problem of the poor people turning towards informal source of credit. That is Gramina Bank, and especially this Gramina Bank concept is introduced by Professor Muhammad Yunus. He is the founder of Gramina Bank, and for this concept of Gramina Bank, he has been given a Nobel Peace Prize also in the year 2006. Let's have a picture. So this is the picture of Professor Muhammad Yunus, founder of Gramina Bank, and he founded it in the year 1970. 6 million borrowers in 40,000 villages, and women make the majority of the borrowers here. Okay. This Gramina Bank of Bangladesh, you can see here, this is Bangladesh. Professor Muhammad Yunus introduced this Gramina Bank concept, like banking for the poor concept in Bangladesh. This is Bangladesh and Gramina Bank concept. Let's go with textbook reading. So Grameen Bank of Bangladesh is one of the biggest success stories in reaching the poor to meet the credit needs at reasonable rates. It started in the year 1970 as a small project. By 2008, there are 9 million members around 81,600 villages. The one I have shown is the latest update they have given in the textbook. In the picture, the matter is different, so you have to follow the textbook only. Almost all the borrowers are women and belonging to the poorest sections of the society. These borrowers have proved that not only are poor women reliable borrowers, but that they can start and run a variety of small income generating activities successfully. Women are prone to be more reliable in among the poorer sections of the society. Men, as you have seen many times, the people are addicted to alcoholism, whereas women are more reliable, and it has become successful because of women in Grameen Bank of Bangladesh. So this is the quotation given by Professor Muhammad Yunus. So what is he saying? He is saying that if the credit can be made available to the poor people on terms and conditions that are appropriate and reasonable, here no loss for the bank also. They can make proper reasonable appropriate rules. These millions of small small people with their millions of small pursuits can add up to create the biggest development wonder. The people who are many poor people in Bangladesh also. So if those millions of poor people's aspirations if taken into consideration, those millions of people with their small thoughts can make a big development. That was the meaning of this quotation, and it's been said by Professor Muhammad Yunus, who introduced the concept of Grameen Bank of Bangladesh. With this, we have completed our lesson money and credit, and in this last paragraph they have summed up whole concept of money and credit in these two paragraphs. So in this chapter, first we have looked at the modern forms of money and how it is linked with banking system, and then how banks are working on one side with depositors and another side with borrowers, and in what way these economic activities like loans and credit are working. And credit has both impact. It has a positive impact also, and it can make the borrower worse off also. It's a risky situation. Credit is available from a variety of sources. Different sources of credit also we have seen, and we have categorized them into formal sources and informal sources also. And then we have seen what are the variations between formal and informal sources of credit, and we have found out that richer households are using more of formal sources than the poor, whereas poor are still dependent on informal sources only. Okay, so then we have discussed that these formal sources of credit can be solved with the help of the self-help groups, and also the poor should get much greater share of formal loans from banks, cooperative societies. So both these steps are important for the development. So overall summing up of the lesson is done here. So you need to complete textbook exercise, and if you have any further queries, we'll discuss during our discussion interactions session. Still, if you have doubts, you can message me. Thank you.